Hi, everyone. Welcome to NAB 2026. My name is James Tian. I'm here with Nick Smith. I've known Nick since JBNA, his
Long
time at
time now.
JBNA. And then since then, Nick has started Massepoint, and as well as there's a lot happening with the parent company. So,
Yeah,
Nick, please introduce yourself and tell us about what all has been happening.
honestly. Yeah, so Nick Smith, VP of Marketing and Technology for, well, let's just start with Nexora. So Nexora is formerly Exertis. It's 26 companies in, I don't know, 15 countries or something like that. They're all distribution. Um, well, I thought they were all distribution. Let me just rephrase that. We own about 12 brands in the musical instrument and MI space. So the parent corp, Nexora, they have all these companies, and some of those companies are manufacturers. So we CAD Audio, Ashley Audio, Washburn Guitars, On Stage. We have a whole collection of brands that we on a manufacturing facility that we build product. And it was a thing that I didn't know about early on. I thought it was just distribution. We have Almo, the music people, JB&A, AA&V, AM&S, like all these distributors. And then through the process, I discovered we own all these manufacturers as well.
That's so cool.
So our division, Massepoint, we are now part of Nexora, the global brand, and we are I would say, marketing operations team. So video, photography, graphic design, web development. We sort of handle all of those assets inside of the brand, and we do contract work for other brands. So we've produced content for Bolin that's being shown at the show for new releases. We just did a bunch of work for Quantum that's being shown in their booth. So we have content all over the show floor that our team has produced for manufacturers that we partner with.
That's amazing, Nick. That's so awesome. Fun little like throwback trivia, but when you mentioned Washburn Guitars,
Yes.
that was the first guitar I bought probably 35 to 40 years ago, and it was the best $200 I spent 35 to 40 years ago. I don't think that's the price today, but
It's not much more expensive. I mean, Washburn is that I hear this a lot from people. It's like, that was my first guitar because it was an affordable guitar, and they still sort of maintain that mantra. But yeah, they have a really wide lineup of guitars now. It's
yeah.
classic. It was funny because we got a call from the factory team on Friday before we left for NAB. Hey, we launched 4 new guitars. We need photos now. I was like,
Now.
overnight them, please. Get them here. But yeah, it was a really interesting turn of events because we've been producing content for the American, sort of like the video brands and the Infocom brands and for the distribution brands. And so I didn't really see this coming of, oh, now you have to think like a manufacturer because you're building content for the website and for all these other angles in the company, and so it was a great change, but it was unexpected. And so it's put a lot of stress on the team, but it's creating a lot of growth and opportunity for the team as well.
hmm You told me before we started that Massepoint is growing really fast.
Yeah.
Tell us about this new facility.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So we've been looking for, I don't know, probably 6 months for a building to move the team into, because we needed space. So every time they launch a new product, they ship us the product, and then we've got to do all the photography, all the videography, everything for it. But then they want us to keep the product because at some point they'll want that with a combination of other products. So we always have to have, every drum, every guitar, every keyboard, everything there takes up a lot of space, So we needed a bigger facility. We needed an infinity wall. We need an XR stage. We need a recording studio for the brand, say the artist tie-ins. So they'll send the artist to us to record a video of them playing on the latest Washburn. So we need all this space. So we found a facility. It's 14,000 square feet. It was formerly a manufacturer. So they have a great warehouse that we're able to convert into a production studio. They've got what was a clean room that we're converting into a recording space and soundproofing so we can do the artist relation work, edit suites. We're sort of building everything we need for what we see as the next sort of 3 to 5 years of growth with all the brands that we're working with.
Mm. That's wonderful. That's exciting.
I'm
Congratulations.
going to need some lights, so we're going to have to talk.
We can talk.
Yeah.
Happy to help you guys with lighting. 3 to 5 years. Where do you see things going in 3 to 5 years?
So the crazy part is we're up for sale. So DCC, the parent corp, is like, yeah, this was fun, but we're done. We want to go focus on energy. So April 1st, officially, they opened the books. All 26 companies are for sale together as a lump. And they're looking at private equity and some corporations. DCC was really good at finding ways to save money. But technology is a strange space, right? And distribution for technology is an even stranger space. So they're out looking right now, and they've already got companies that are interested to be able to come in and help us grow and take the distribution and everything up a notch. And so the goal is they're looking at private equity companies that are willing to see this thing expand and grow. Right now, we're sitting somewhere just south of 3 billion. So their goal is to get it into the 5 to 10 billion range. So either it'll go public at that point, or it will, find other acquisition targets to bundle in with it. There's all kinds of great ideas. We got a new CEO. He is phenomenal. He's actually here on the show floor, learning more about the broadcast industry and looking at how this thing expands. But it is all about growth over the next, couple of years as we come into this acquisition, bring on new brands, expand the company with new labels. And for us, that just means more content.
That's an impressive scale of total enterprise, revenue. That's impressive.
Well, and it's a crazy organization because when I look at it, we have Almo, which is our Pro AV brand. If you need a flat panel, if you need an LED wall, you're building out a video conferencing system, that's Almo. And then we have the music people. There isn't a stage out there that isn't using product that they're bringing, right? On stage, CAD, Ashley, all the things that they're producing for staging, lighting, and for live events. And then the JB&A group, which is the broadcast group. And, and all the things they're doing broadcast. So we've got such a great portfolio of companies. And for us, it's like, okay, how do we tell all these stories with video, with graphic design, with web elements? So it's really pushing our team to evolve in such a great way.
That's so, I don't know if I shared this with you, but Ikan is also owned by private equity. So I can...
Good or bad?
It's good.
Good.
Yeah, good. Very good, very good, very good. I've my chairman of our board is somebody who very much sees eye to eye with me in terms of where the future of Ikan is.
Nice.
And he is somebody who is very, for being private equity, not just for being private equity, but just as a person, he's very informed with the latest and just broad technology. He's very forward thinking, very much embracing AI in all its kind of good forms. So yeah, and so there's
where is AI for you all? Because it's interesting because if I go, a couple of years back in NAB and Infocom, AI was just that 2-letter acronym that's like, we're AI enabled. Well, what does that mean? Right. But I feel like this year I'm actually seeing true AI integrations in people's product.
Yeah.
Avid's got some cool stuff. Adobe's got some cool stuff. Barco with an AI-based switcher to actually manage a production. So I feel like I'm actually seeing AI being implemented into products.
Yeah. AI is really exciting for us. There is an AI component that's internal and AI component that's external, right? I think what our internal development is really focusing on is building agentic AI that augments our workforce.
Nice.
The goal here is that we want to reduce and eliminate all grunt work internally within the company. And with the skills that we build in-house to deliver exceptional value for our staff, we can then use that same backbone technology to build some agentic AI in production. And we already have some ideas and visions of what that would look like as an external product. But really, internally, what we're looking to do is we're learning, think about think about your staff, right? Everybody at Massepoint. There are things that everybody really enjoys doing in their 40-hour week or 40-plus hour week. And oftentimes, those things align with creativity and excitement and innovation. But those times and those things are oftentimes completely suffocated by the reality of there's things we have to do as people. There's and we grunt work, right? Like just crunching out the spreadsheet. Not necessarily as grunt work, but a lot of things that don't require the most creative side of you but things that have to get done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we're building agentic agents in-house to be able to augment. And really, I mean, if you don't really enjoy like composing emails, there's things we can do for you. I think one of the biggest things is that we have a lot of questions that go up to our product team as it pertains to like compatibility and interface. We can train an AI agent to learn everything about our products and be that initial line between our product department and our sales department to be able to offer the guidance. And it would be smart enough to know it would know if it can answer something 100% confidence, or if not, it will kick it off to a person to interview. So those are examples, right? Or like when we release a product, it requires, as we partner with different channels, to build out these templates so that we can send that template to somebody and they can just upload that metadata into their website.
Yeah.
AI can easily do that, right? There's a lot of this grunt work.
I love that everything you just talked about was how you're making your business run better and your customer experience. It wasn't necessarily about, oh, we've added an AI feature to a camera here or something there. It was all about your experience in running a company, right? And I think people sort of miss AI for how does it make my products different or better or more cutting edge or faster to market? But it's how do I just run a business better? Yeah, we've got one of our brands that used an AI chat bot to basically scrape all the data about a product so you can answer. And I think that is probably just one of the easiest, simplest things that anybody can do. Because for me to go on to a website to find an answer to a question means I probably have to download the manual, open a PDF, sort through the PDF, find the right search term. That's a nightmare. But if I can hit a chatbot on your website, which has access to all that data and can do that work for me, I'm in love with your company now because you're making it easier for me to get the answers I need without having to download 3 things. Because unfortunately, I downloaded the French one first, and now I got to go back and get the English one. So it's like, that's great to create a better experience using the product.
Absolutely. Thank you for saying that. So once we do all of those in-house and agentic things, then like I said, we have a lot of ideas of how to bring AI into a modern workflow.
Nice.
Not to eliminate jobs, but to augment.
Yep.
Again, take away the grunt work. That's really our thing, right? How can we help people be better? How can we allow and empower people to do what they enjoy most, which is being creative, being innovative? Those are the things that make people excited about their jobs. The people that the jobs where that is stifled people are not given the opportunity to shine that way, but instead are told to fill out reports and do spreadsheets and do this and do that. Like, those are jobs that have very short. We just that's really our goal.
I told my team, nobody here is losing their job because of AI.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, we're doing things now. We're producing applets now that we wanted to have done for the last 5 years, but never had the bandwidth or the money to produce. I would have had to hire developers and we would have crashed at it for a year and would have cost us a ton of money. And then we may not have even got the product we wanted. Now we're iterating and building software applications to enable the sales team to get fancier answers, to enable them to work, more efficiently. And we're doing it super inexpensively. And we're doing it fast because of AI. And I work with artists, and artists don't want to hear the word AI or see those letters anywhere in their world because there's now you're going to hire a robot to do my job. And I'm like, but I told my team, use it. It's not a replacement. It's a tool. It's no different than the first person who got Photoshop and every photographer is like, you're cheating. No, it's a tool to make a better asset, to make a better product, right? And so I'm like, don't be afraid of this, use it. And we're now producing things that would cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars to get in studio. But we're doing it now at, for almost pennies in comparison by using AI. So it's a great tool. We're loving it. We've embraced, well, not all my artists have embraced, but we've embraced.
I can see that the fear and the threat and the discomfort, but I really think it's just a factor of time and acclimation. It really does. Because I mean, Adobe Firefly, right? I haven't touched it yet, but I hear that's a big thing, and so I definitely want to go to Adobe, find some of my friends there, and try to understand, because we use Adobe products a lot
Yeah.
for our content creation. So really, really intrigued about Firefly, because post production can be a grind. I mean, we've all spent late nights cutting video. It's tedious. There is a creative side, which is this is the delivered products. I vision what the product is, but the actual execution is just so labor intensive.
Oh yeah.
Right? And like, can we have Firefly or some other AI just help our staff do that without them feeling like they have to tear their eyes out, right?
Like, I mean, everything is about the story.
Yeah.
Like, in the end, it's about the story.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter what camera you're using, what editorial software you're using, what light you're using, what lens is on the front of it. If you don't have a story to tell, none of that matters, right? So focus on the storytelling and let the tech not be in the way, right? And that's the part that I want to see with AI more and more with all these tools, is not having to focus on the tech and just being able to focus on the story and let that be the primary driver.
Yeah, that is so well said, Nick. I mean, on that kind of front, or on that transition, you're walking the floors. Granted, this is the first day, so I might be asking you too early, but did you come into NAB with any specific AI workflow or AI solutions that was most intriguing to you? Or are you still largely show me, prove to me what it can do?
I want to see if people are actually doing interesting things with it or just metadata enrichment. I think so much AI for the last couple of years has been move my camera and follow the person, or take my assets and tell me more about them, right? My sort of canned video assets. And so I really wanted to see if people were doing something more interesting. So, and I'm seeing some of it. I'm seeing a little bit here where people are using AI to make some decisions, some editorial decisions, some switching decisions, moving things around. Saw a company with focused on sports production, and they've trained the AI to understand soccer. So it's one thing to follow talent around with a camera. It's another one to understand, well, what's the action at play, to know where the ball is going to be. You can look at a lot of the early tracking systems and the ball gets out of screen a lot and the camera catches up. Well, it's because they don't understand the movement of play. And so these newer LLMs were able to train them about the movement of play on screen to know that, well, if the goalie's got the ball, you better shoot to a wide shot because that ball is going to end up on the other side of the field and not stay tight on the goalie because he's going to hurl that ball or kick that ball really far. And so these newer AIs are trained to understand that once it's in the goalie's hand, pan that camera back because that ball's going far, right? So those type of activities I'm seeing now where these LLMs they're getting enough data to be more intelligent in how they're understanding the action on the field.
That is so cool.
So it's stuff like that where I'm like, okay, finally, this is the AI I was hoping for. Right? This is the activities I want to see. I'm working with a platform that does editorial, that it can read the script and assemble the first round. That's great. That saves me hours to put that first, line up together. Now I just want to go in and craft the story based on that, understand where I need B-roll. So I think we're almost there. I think what I'm seeing now is it's good and it's going the right direction. None of it's perfect. None of it's done, but it's going the right direction.
And those hours that AI saved you gave you back those hours so that you could do more other creative things, right? Things that are stacking up that, because we all have a mental load of things we want to do, but time never allows it. Well, what if time does allow it? Because the thing that's holding us back has been the implementation of...
If I can get a couple hours back every day, I can make more content.
Yes.
That's just all there is to it. And maybe the world doesn't need more content, but I have more stories I want to tell. I have more people I want to interview, and I need more time to do it. Right? So it's like we got to get more time back. And we've got a lot of clients, we got a lot of things that we got to turn around. So how can I speed the process up a little bit so that we can keep the data moving and the media moving?
Yeah, well said. Beyond AI, what other technologies at NAB in this broadcast space most intrigue you?
I honestly not a lot right now. I don't see a lot of improvement out there. I see a lot of iteration. We're a little brighter, a little louder, a little denser pixel pitch. I think we've kind of hit a stalemate to a certain degree where there was always this drive to get to higher resolutions. And I think the industry has kind of realized that higher resolution doesn't really do anything. Do we need 16K? Not unless I'm shooting a film and I need to cut a better plate. Do I really even need 8K? I don't really see like this huge push right now that we saw with the resolution wars maybe 10 years ago as 4K and 1080p were really coming online. I think now it's about efficiency and simplicity and connectivity. So things like IPMX and Dante and NDI creating more simplicity in how we connect. I think more uniformity in like just AV over IP for a second. There's too many of them, and none of them work together, right? SDV over E doesn't really work with anything else but itself. A-Speed, all these other codecs, Crestron with their codec, and I think it creates a lot of splintering, just a mess of gear, and simplifying down to Dante and IPMX and NDI, where we can sort of create an environment that doesn't matter who's encoder, who's decoder, it's going to work because we're all in an ecosystem of functionality there. So those things to me are really important and really valuable. And I'm seeing more people get on board with those. I'm seeing more IPMX out there than I saw 2 years ago. I'm seeing more NDI out there. And I'm now starting to see more Dante, right? Where, the video side of Dante, not the audio. And that to me is very valuable because it gives you as a manufacturer less things to worry about. Oh, do I have to do A-Speed? Do I have to do SDVOE? Or can I just buy into an ecosystem that everybody else can get on board with? And I don't have to necessarily worry about, is my stuff going to work well with somebody else's? Focus on those cores. So I really think this is the big movement right now, is to get to out of these proprietary platforms and into these more open source, open availability platforms. Because that'll just make everybody's job so much easier.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about, okay, am I buying into NDI? And is the company I'm buying, am I stuck? No, because it'll work with all the others.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I mean, unrelated to the broadcast industry, but it's akin to all the electric chargers and how they finally set on a standard. So every charger is now the same.
USB-C, Qi or Key or whatever everybody wants to call it. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. It's that same mentality, right?
Yep.
The other one that's fun for me right now is, and I'm seeing it here in the people that are at the show. I'm seeing more pro AV clients. I'm seeing more of the AV customers that ordinarily wouldn't be at an NAB show. But broadcast, it's shrinking. The stations are shrinking. The studios are shrinking. But the customer base is corporate now. It's corporate America. They're growing massively.
Absolutely.
They're all putting in studios. So the amount of pro AV companies, the systems integrators that are coming to us right now saying, we need to understand broadcast. Teach us more about broadcast. That market's exploding. It was exciting to be at ISC this year and see Hall 4, which was all NAB customers. It was all the NAB vendors that are here at an AV show. That was amazing.
Yeah. And Infocom, you'll see the same. Yep. Yeah, we started exhibiting at ISC 2 years ago, and we're going to do that in perpetuity.
That's a great show.
It really is.
That is a great show.
Yeah. And everything you just said, Nick, is where we have positioned ourselves for the better part of several years, right? We introduced our PoE lighting several years ago. It really perfectly addresses a corporate customer who is trying to convert an existing office space into a podcast studio, into some sort of flexible content creation space. And the combination of drop ceilings and not having power in the permit allows us to create lighter weight broadcast grade lighting with power over Ethernet and network-based control. And it's really taken off.
I mean, it's the answer to number 15.
Yeah.
Like if I was to answer that for you, it's, what can you do to make things better? It's to stay within a non-proprietary standardization of a product, right? And so PoE is that. 100%. You going down that path means to plug your product in, I need a thing that I can get at any Best Buy or Walmart in the country. It's called an Ethernet cable. So I don't have to stress over if I take your product to another country, how am I going to plug it in? What do I do about a cord? Right? No, I have an Ethernet cable.
Yeah, our European customers let us know how that as one of the most amazing features, right? Because oftentimes they're like, a lot of technology comes out of America, and when it does, there's always that initial batch that's like very American only, right? So American power cord even, right?
Yep.
It's just a lot of just standard American standards, but the IT world has really created a global standard across. And so you're right. Anything network based, anything PoE based, anything RJ45 based is ubiquitous across the world. That's what's so cool about that new technology. Yeah.
No, it makes life so much easier to know that I'm compatible no matter where I go.
Yeah, absolutely. Corporate customers are definitely where we recognize the future growth. The addressable market is so high. I remember you shared last year, probably at NAB, that the amount of opportunities, every office space. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You said that had X number of video production rooms of some sort.
Yeah, it was somewhere around the realm of, I think, every 10 conference rooms, there's a production space.
Yep. Well, and adding to that, what we're hearing from our corporate clients is that they want to level up their conference rooms to have broadcast grade technology, because they want the cameras. Right, Q-SYS has a Canon camera that's one of the top of the line PTZs, right? And now it's a Q-SYS product. They want better lighting, right? Soft lighting. They want better infrastructure so that there's no latency. They want better audio. We're hearing more and more corporate clients wanting a teleprompter in a space, in a meeting space, so they can have higher quality presentations. It's happening in ways that we didn't even anticipate, which is in the meeting spaces, not just in the podcast rooms of a corporation,
but in the standard conference room.
Yeah.
No, agreed. They want the improvement in how people communicate, right, and how often they have to communicate, dealing with dispersed teams, and the one-to-many conversation versus the many-to-many conversation. That everybody just wants a better experience.
Yeah,
and so the demand is there in those spaces for better cameras, for better audio, for better everything. And so it's where the growth is right now. It's all in that space. And it's interesting you mentioned Canon. They've become sort of an OEM darling this year, because QSC is not the only one that's grasping onto them. I don't know if you've watched what VizRT is doing with Zoom. It's another similar
very
story,
dialed into that,
which is, I want to create a better experience, but I want to have the flexibility of green screen on any surface, right? So the virtual keyer that they included in there, to be able to, no matter where the CEO is, no matter what he's standing in front of, key him in, adding AR graphics and sort of these extra features that a traditional AV customer doesn't understand, but doesn't care. I need a better presentation tool. And so them kind of honing in on that Zoom audience is very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. I mean, the formerly the New Tech team, they're based in San Antonio. It's literally a 2-hour drive from Houston. So we've known these guys for many, many years. Our lights are actually at their booth right now as part of that ecosystem, right? Because with AR, with VR, you need good lighting. With green screen, you need good lighting. And so, I'm really happy to be part of that, and hope to see that, Zoom and the VizRT partnership, as well as what Microsoft is doing and their partnerships. That's huge. And those opportunities are, bountiful.
Did you see Microsoft's new AI announcement?
No.
Oh,
you're talking about SharePoint?
No, they've been working on their own LLM behind the scenes. That will be, it's a Microsoft built product, not an OpenAI built product.
Okay.
So they're showing some really interesting metrics around transcription and translation and how fast they can do it.
Interesting.
It's really incredible. Because that's another area that we're seeing a lot of expansion in right now, is the demand for transcription real time inside of environments. So being able to take the dialogue that's happening now and put it on a screen for, not just the remote audience, but for the in-house audience, right? So on the dais at a city council meeting, in an event, at a house of worship, is be able to deliver that data in real time. And those tools are getting really good. In fact, we're seeing one vendor that's announced they'll have audio translation in your earbuds coming soon, this year soon.
Wow.
Where we'll take a meeting like this,
Yeah.
translate it to another language, beam it into your ear, so you don't have to take your eyes off the person, right? Because oftentimes we'll have a monitor on set and it's got transcription, but that means I have to look over here and read it, and I'm missing all the body language that's happening. But if I can keep my eyes on you and hear it in Spanish or Portuguese or some other language, that really changes how people can communicate and how many people we can communicate to in real time.
It does. I mean, that, so often our clients are in a different country, and thank goodness we speak English. Most people do, but it would mean the world if we could bridge that language gap and allow AI to translate in their native languages so they can hear it and process information much quicker, right? Because when we, people that are bilingual or trilingual, the languages are stored in different sectors of their brain.
Yep.
And so oftentimes, like, you're right. I mean, if you're hearing a language that's not your native language, you're spending more time translating in your brain than truly absorbing the information.
Yeah.
So that's such a
just
profound
take
thing.
subtitles on a TV show.
Yeah.
My kids love anime and all kinds of shows, but they're purists. They want the subtitled version,
Correct.
not the
the dub version. Correct.
But you spend so much time looking at the body on the screen. It's a constant doing this. Look up, look down, look up, look down. Netflix has a show out right now called The Last Samurai TV show. They do an AI dub. It's the original voice actor's voice, but dubbed into English. It changed the show for me because I get to watch the show. I get to experience all the emotions, everything that's happening. I'm not watching the bottom of the screen.
I will have to check that out. That is so cool.
And you have to watch it. When you're watching it, watch just before a person speaks. You'll see a little bit of softness around their mouth as the AI takes over.
Takes over the shape of their mouth as they're enunciating words, right?
Everything. Yeah. Because the Japanese enunciation, the mouth movement is different from the English. So you've got to correct for that with AI. I mean, it's cool. It's not perfect yet, but it's close enough that I'm enjoying the show. I can watch the show and not have to worry about missing something. I can also turn my head when somebody's talking to me and not miss what's being said because of the subtitle. So it just changes everything.
That's profound. That's so cool. And it, even if it's not quite there yet, it'll get there in months. And that's the speed of AI in months.
We did a short segment for one of our CFO a year or so ago where we translated him into French. Now we got in trouble because he speaks French and we did the wrong French. We did the
wrong accent of French?
Well, yeah,
French?
we did the French version, not the Quebecian version. And it was funny, but it was good. You really couldn't tell, but it took a lot of post-processing time to do a very short segment. And what I'm seeing now is that is so much faster now, so much better, so much cleaner. It's getting so good. And good enough to watch a show.
That's so cool. Wow, we've covered a lot, Nick. A lot of future possibilities, especially as it revolves around AI automation. Anything else we want to cover today? I mean, this is cool stuff.
I don't know that there's anything left. We sort of hit it all.
Yeah.
We'll have to save something for next year. So.
Oh, sounds great. Sounds great. Well, it is always a pleasure to have you, to chat with you. Thank you for being a great advocate for Ikan.
Love it.
Look forward to more partnerships and more ways we can work together.
I'm finally excited to have a big enough building to put some of your lights in. So we're excited for the direction you guys are going. We love the new cart you're building.
That's a Remy workflow, right? That's the epicenter of remote production.
But not even that. And I'll just tail this off for a second. There is still a demand for mobile production within the facility. Right? I mean, this is a CEO box. The CEO does not want a teleprompter in their office 24/7. They don't want all this gear sitting around. They want a clean infrastructure. So being able to roll this into the CEO's office every time they're ready to do a presentation to the company, to the whole corporation, that's a great tool. So I think to think about it outside of this is not the how am I producing afar, but how am I just producing within my own building? To have this as a mobile tool to just roll around the building and produce inside the facility, I think it's a great solution.
Yeah. Thank you
So
so much.
kudos on
Nick.
you guys for the development of this.
I appreciate that. And, we also designed this thing to be, it's a scalable solution. Like, let's say you're a corporation and you want to just start somewhere. This is an all-in-one solution.
Yep.
And once you grow into it, you can add to it by expanding, like what we're doing right now. We've got two more permanent setups next to it. Or you can just build a permanent studio and use this as your mobile.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a scalable solution for companies that want to dabble. And once they feel more comfortable, then they build into it rather than having them, invest, a lot of money up front.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and I can see this in our studio because it's clean enough to move around, to put in a corner, to put at the XR wall, to put at the other sound stage, just to move it around, but everything's there.
Yes.
Everything you need is there. You've got lift on the teleprompter so you can adjust to different heights of speakers. It's a really clean solution. So kudos on the team.
Cool. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Nick. Appreciate that.
Good
I will
times.
relay that to the guys who are part of that project. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you again. Appreciate it.
Good luck.
Enjoy.
You got a lot of these to do, I hear.
So do you, right? We wear many hats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations on the new facility for Massepoint. I can't wait to see some pictures.
Absolutely.
Let me know when you're ready. We can talk about how we can help you outfit some of our equipment in that space.
But of course.
Yeah. Just look forward to more of the same. I hope you have a great rest of NAB.
Looking forward to it. You as well. Thanks, James.
Thanks.